Hi there, Gary and Carol Shirley, Follow Your Dream. We are in our 5th month living full-time in our RV. It's January the 12th today as we record this. You'll probably see it a little bit later on in the month. So we thought we did a review a little while ago, a 3-month review about where we've been, what we've been doing. And we thought today we would sit and do a little review on the good and the bad, the best bit and the worst bit of our sort of 4.5 months, coming up 5 months, living full time, and just share one or two things about why we're still in England as well, because we didn't plan to be still in England originally during the winter. So, okay, Carol, what's been the worst? We'll start with the worst thing, shall we? Yeah. So what's been the worst thing about these 4.5 months or so living in Grace?
I think for me it's been the weather. You know, the late September, it didn't really stop raining in Devon pretty much until we left. Well, even when we left, it was still raining in November.
Yeah.
And just the constant rain with the odd day of dryness, just having to go outside and be in the wet. And we've got waterproofs and everything, but it's, you know, when it's wet, it's usually cloudy and overcast and dark, and it's just not very pleasant, really.
Yeah, we had a couple of 2 or 3 nice walks, but nowhere near as many as we kind of had planned we would during September and October. Had we kind of thought we would get out and about on the moors and see some of the places that we hadn't gotten to go to over the years, and that was a bit disappointing, wasn't it?
Yes,
because
and then
of the weather.
You end up with wet coats and you know, waterproof trousers are all wet, and your boots are all muddy, and obviously you can't walk on the grass anyway. Everywhere is absolutely saturated. Even going on, you know, campsites with the RV, you've got to be really careful. Well, Gary has to be really careful when he's driving and reversing to keep the vehicle on hard standing on the road. You absolutely cannot go anywhere near the grass. Because
we did have one incident, didn't we?
Did.
On a CL site, actually, which wasn't big enough for us.
No.
It in the description it said that it would take up to 14 meters vehicles, and we're 9.5. So we thought, oh, that's brilliant. That's really fantastic. Must be a nice wide open site. It wasn't, and we kind of think it was a misprint. It was probably 1.4 meters actually, which would be ridiculously small. But anyway, that was a bit tight, and we did end up digging our wheels into the grass on the side. It was a very narrow little parking spot, very narrow little driveway into there. And we almost got stuck, but we managed to get out of that, and we had a lovely 3 days there. It was great. That was up near in Shropshire, wasn't it?
Near
Shrewsbury and
Oswestry.
So it worked out well, and we had a good explore around there, but that was a bit dodgy. So the weather has been a little bit of a downer. For us, I think I agree with that completely.
Yeah, and we can't have the slider out when it's high winds or
heavy
rain. Because
it's not designed to stand up to that kind of weather. So you know, we did make the mistake of leaving it out for a little while when we had some of the heavy rain, and we did get a drip in. It's just, you know, it's just how it is. But it does limit the size of the living space when we can't have the slide out. And one of the reasons we bought this vehicle was for the slide out, so that we've got extra living space. So bad weather is not good, and you can't expect very much else. But I think it's been particularly poor September, October this year, and then actually we're sitting in sunshine this morning in January, so that's really nice. We've turned the heating off, because it gets lovely and warm with the sun coming through our windows. So when the weather is nice, when the sun comes out, it's glorious, and it's lovely. And that's, I think the thing that's been worse for me is the dark nights. I'm not great with the dark nights anyway in the winter. That's always a bit of a struggle for me, always has been. So pulling the curtains at sort of 3:30, 4:45, and not being able to get out and about. And also that affects the distances we can drive during the day, because we need to be parked up. I don't want to drive this vehicle in the dark particularly, just because of visibility, with the size of vehicles. So call me chicken if you like, but I'd rather be safe than sorry. So we've had to, when we've been travelling, we've had to park up, by 3:30 at the latest, really, in the depths of the winter. It's getting better now, as the nights start to draw out, but it was pretty grim with the dark nights. So that's really, for me, been the worst bit. But we're over that now. We're past that. So let's get on to best things then. What's been the best thing for you, Carol?
I
these
think
last few
the
months?
relaxed lifestyle,
Mm-hmm.
and not having a diary full of things to do, places to, meetings to go to, and lots of things that I would have to do most of the time, deadlines, all that sort of thing. Being retired, and not having to set the alarm clock every day. I mean, yes, we do set the alarm when we have to get on the move or go somewhere for a particular time, but actually in this vehicle you can't rush.
No.
Yes, she does like going at 60 mile an hour, but you have to conserve fuel, so we go about 55. And there's lots of things you have to do to be able to get on the move, when you're on a site, or even if you just parked in a lay-by. There's certain, we have to put everything away and all that sort of thing.
We have a checklist, don't
So
we?
we have a checklist. So
setting off.
That takes a bit of time. So you have to be relaxed about things and not get yourself in a tiz over stuff, and just take it one step at a time, really, and then you get there and get where you're going or whatever, and it's fine. Yeah. So I quite like that. Yeah.
I think the best thing for me has been being more outdoors, although it's been limited because of the weather and things, but actually just being one step away out the door and you're outside, or even when you're sitting here, we're sitting here and we're looking out at lovely, beautiful views of Oxfordshire at the moment, and and the varying views as well, not always having the same view out the window. It's just glorious, and I've really appreciated that, and I also actually really like living in a smaller space, not having loads of rooms, and just being cozy and warm, especially in the winter. We have been warm most of the time. We haven't had a problem keeping warm at all. We've got electric when we're on electric. We've got gas when we're not. So and it's really quick to warm up when we get the heating going, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
And if we've been driving, we have the blowers going into the house part of the vehicle. So we arrive and we're warm because we've had the engine heat, and that really is lovely. Excuse me. Still got a bit of a cough. So that's been really good. So I really appreciate that, and I do like getting out and not being stuck indoors, sitting behind a computer, writing stuff and planning stuff and doing all that. Just being able to step outside and just walk up round the site where we are, or just walk down the road and whatever. That's been real joy for me. And again, as you said, just being relaxed.
Yeah, and of course housework doesn't take very long.
And thank you. Big shout out to Phil Gay. Thank you, Phil, for commenting on our last 3-month review video and saying we look 10 years younger. That was that made us feel really good. So thank you for that. It's probably just the lighting or something. But anyway, that was really nice. So thank you for that. So do make comments. There's a space below. When you view this on YouTube, there is a space below for comments. Do make some comments. Say hi. Ask us questions. We'll be very happy to do little videos of answering anybody's questions about what we're doing and where we're going and all the rest of it. We should try to let you know, but yeah, we'd love to hear from you. And this is a way of us staying in touch with a lot of you who are good friends. But also we'd like to hear from anybody who we don't actually already know. So do comment, do say hi, let us know who you are. We do have how many subscribers we have, but we don't have who they are, because most of you keep it on private on there, which is probably sensible. But do let us know who you are so we can give you a shout out. Phil did. We know who you are, Phil, and we know where you live. So that's great. So those are good and bad things. The other thing we wanted to just say about today was why we're still in England, because those of you who know us know that our plan was not to be in this country for the winter, or for a portion of the winter anyway. Well, the first reason that we haven't got across to Europe and down to the south to the warmer weather, the first reason is insurance. The insurance company that we were with for this year through to this month, actually, I thought I was going to be able to then reinsure with them so that we could then go abroad, but sadly they don't cover for people living in an RV for extended periods of time. So they were unable to cover us for going off to Europe. So we had to wait for the changeover of insurance, which is this month, as we changed companies this month to a company that will cover us for going to Europe and for living more in full time in the RV. So that was the first delay. So we couldn't go essentially until around about next week. So that was okay. We came up to get the MOT done, and in the process of that found that our windscreens were coming unbonded, and in fact one of them cracked. So we ended up with a cracked windscreen. That is been a bit of an issue because it has to be ordered from America. It has to be boxed up specially so it doesn't break on the way. And it was ordered and should have been shipped and arrived between Christmas and New Year. So we would still have been able to get off to France. But you couldn't make this up. Somebody put the wrong label on the package and sent it to Mexico. Yes, Mexico. We have offered to go over there and fetch it, but that was declined. So we're having to wait now for it to come from Mexico, and the Mexican authorities are a little bit suspicious about this package that's been transported to Mexico and then straight out of Mexico, and they're being a bit funny about it. So the whole thing's been delayed. Still waiting for that to arrive. Don't even know when it will actually get here. So that's why we're in Oxfordshire, really. So we can't go until we get the windscreen fixed. Obviously, it's the passenger side. It's a split windscreen, and it's the passenger side that's cracked. So it's not too bad. We can drive, we can go places, but it's just you can't. It's just not good to go off and not get it done. So we can't go for that reason. So that's the second reason, and the third reason now, and maybe. We believe that God has our best interests in hand, and often will use circumstances to keep us safe or to give us the best road forward and path. And we trust in him for that. And it may be that he has been behind these delays because while we're waiting for the windscreen, we haven't obviously been able to book ferry and campsites or anything like that in France because we don't know when we're going. So we've not booked anything. And then a couple of days ago, we had a phone call from the nursing home to say that Carol's mum has taken a turn for the worse. We're talking an end of life sort of scenario, sadly. It's not unexpected. She's had dementia for quite a number of years. And so there's issues, and it's really sad, but not unexpected. And of course, we don't know how well she's going to do. She may recover for a while because that's how these things go. So we don't know what's going to happen. So why are we still in England? Well, now we're going to stay in England. And when the windscreen's done, we'll head back down to Devon so that we're close by to her, so that Carol can be with her. That's kind of where it's at. So whether we get off to France this winter time or not, we really don't know. So that's on one side. So our adventures in France will have to wait. So that's why we're still in good old England. And actually, it's not too bad when the sun shines. Just doesn't shine that often. That's the problem. And the days are getting longer.
Yeah.
We've been down with colds over Christmas and New Year. Well, colds, some virusy thing. I think everybody's had. So you all probably know about it. We've had that. So we haven't been doing much videoing. We haven't been getting out and about very much. But we hope now we're both feeling a bit better. Well, you're still sort of recovering, aren't you?
Yeah, recovering.
But we are feeling a bit better. And so hopefully we'll get out and about and do some stuff. And be able to put up some more little videos of our visits and places we go. So that's us. We want to thank you for those of you who've subscribed. If you haven't subscribed and you're watching this, please do subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything. And if you click the little bell icon, you can then get a little message will come up to tell you when we upload another video. If you make a comment, we'd love that. We'd love to sort of have a bit of conversation with folk, and especially say hello to folk we know. So those of you who are down in Devon, we will be seeing you probably later this month, or we'll be around anyway, one way or another, for a little while. So God bless, love to you all.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Yes, it's a little bit.
It's a bit late.
It's a little bit late, but hey, welcome to 2020. And we look forward to sharing our adventures through 2020 with all of you. God bless, and goodbye for now. Give us a thumbs up. Yay! Encourage us. Thank you. Bye.